Hey, it's Aaron here. Hope you're doing well. If you're watching this video right now, you might be checking out this program called Elite Closers by Gentry Chidesta. And perhaps you're wondering, what is this program all about? Can you really make the type of income that they're talking about on this page? And, is this worth your time? All right. So we're going to review Elite Closers so that you can decide whether or not you want to become a high ticket sales person, right? At any time, if you would like to check out my favorite strategy on getting to 5 to 10,000 US dollars a month, you can just go ahead and click the link below in the description box and I'll send you that free training directly to your email, right? Completely up to you. Okay, so let's take a look at Elite Closers. Now, Elite Closers is a high ticket remote sales program that's basically going to teach you how to become a high ticket closer. So this is how this works, right? There are a lot of companies out there that basically sell high ticket programs, high ticket training courses, high ticket services, high ticket done for you programs, and they're usually in the range of anywhere from $3,000 to $10, $20, $30,000. So what Gentry's program is going to teach you how to do is it's going to teach you how to become a remote sales rep for one of these types of companies. And basically what you would do is you would learn all about the product, and then you would speak to people either on the phone or through Zoom, for example, and you would usually speak to them for about 45 minutes to an hour, and you would learn the whole sales process on how to get them to know, like, and trust you, get them to want to buy the product, and then you would basically help them to transact the sale at the end. And it's usually for a high ticket amount, which is pretty high. It's usually $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, and then you would make the commissions associated with that particular sale. Okay, a very, very cool skill set to learn, and there's a very specific way of doing it. So in Gentry's program, what he's going to do is he's going to teach you exactly how to learn that skill of becoming a high ticket closer so that you can make big commissions from these companies that are selling these types of mentorship or service programs. All right. Now, the way it works is, if you kind of look at the sales page here, Gentry's basically going to talk about a little bit about how you need to be able to structure your sales process in such a way that people want to buy from you, all right? And there is a specific way that they teach in order for you to get your closing rate to pretty high. I mean, they claim that they can get a closing rate of about 70% or more, which is very, very high, all right? Because most closers on average will do, decent closers will do about 1 in every 3 sales. A 70% close rate is extremely high, right? So it's a 30 to 40 day program. You're going to get one-on-one mentorship from Gentry himself. They also have group coaching every single week, and their goal is to get you to earn between 5 and 10,000 US dollars per month. Now, some of the closers that do very well will earn more than that, about $20,000 to $30,000 per month. But this really depends on you. Unfortunately, not everybody is going to have that type of closing rate, right? So the goal is to get you to 5 to 10K. If you do really well, maybe a little bit more, $20,000 to $30,000 a month. But that's a lot of money in and of itself, right? So this is a great skill to obviously learn. And there are 4 things that he really focuses on inside of his program. He focuses number 1 on the belief in your product. Number 2, timing and logistics. Number 3, having spousal support for your actual customer. And number 4, all about money and how they can actually pay for the actual program. And the cool thing about this training course is that they talk much, much more about consultative selling rather than hard sales, because when it comes to closing people on a big ticket item, it's very difficult to hard close them. You have to basically do a lot of listening and really listen to what your customer is saying so that you can help to manage their objections on the fly. That's basically what the program is about, and to get them to really believe in the product and in the basically they need to understand that they need the actual product in order to solve their problems, and Gentry's program is going to teach you how to become that kind of closer. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the price points and the refunds and things like that. So there is a 14-day refund, but you must not have covered more than 25% of the course. All right, so if you've covered more than 25%, then you won't be able to get your refund. So at least they've got a refund policy, which is good. Some programs don't have a refund policy, so at least Elite Closers does have that. Again, like I mentioned, it's a 30 to 40 day training program. In terms of the price point, you're going to have to jump on a discovery call to find out the price point of this program. And so they're kind of bringing you through the exact process that you would be teaching or you would be getting people to go through, if that makes sense, right? So usually on a discovery call, if you're going to be getting on this call, it will be pretty expensive. Very, very likely that this program will be between 5 and 10,000 US dollars to learn this skill set. So they kind of practice what they preach. They're gonna actually bring you through a free call where they're going to find out a little bit more about what you really want to do, and they're just going to take you through the exact same process that you're going to learn when you become a high ticket closer. Now, the nice thing that I like about Elite Closers is that they guarantee placement, which is pretty amazing. Okay, so if you go through the whole program and you graduate, and you do the one-on-one calls with Gentry and his team, and you get really good, they will guarantee you a placement with some high ticket companies, which I think is really good, because the biggest problem with learning this closing skill is once you get the certification in a lot of other programs, they don't guarantee you a placement, they don't guarantee you a job. And getting a job with a good company is actually one of the most difficult things about being a high ticket closer. It's not necessarily that you're not going to learn the skill, you will. And this is a good program to learn how to do it in Elite Closers. The problem is will you get a job with a good company that has a good product that will pay out commissions regularly? That's actually the biggest problem with becoming a closer. All right, so at least with these guys, they guarantee a placement, which I think is really, really cool. Okay, so on this page you can see a bunch of testimonials here, and if you would like to jump into the Elite Closers program to learn how to become potentially a high ticket closer, you can just schedule your free call here. Now, the one thing that I do want to mention about becoming a high ticket closer is it's not so much about Elite Closers as a program. I think Gentry's program is a good program. There are quite a few high ticket closing mentorship programs out there, but his one is actually one of the better ones. The problem with becoming a closer is not necessarily learning to become a closer. The problem with becoming a closer is that you're going to have to spend a lot of time on calls. So it really depends on who you are, okay? First of all, learning the skill set I think is great. Learning to become a closer, it will serve you for the rest of your life. I think learning to become a great salesperson in general will give you a skill set that will pay you for the rest of your life. So that's a really, really good thing. All right, and it's good to learn that anyway. But the problem with becoming a high ticket closer is that you don't have any time for yourself. In order for you to make the big commissions, like $20,000 to $30,000 a month, you're going to need to be on 5, 6, 7 calls a day. All right, so if you think about that, that's like having a full-time job. I mean, the fact that you have to spend an hour with every single client or potential customer, and if you're doing that 5, maybe 7 times a day, that means it's about 7 hours of your day, 8 hours of your day perhaps, right? And you're gonna have to do this every single day. Yes, you might be able to make big commissions that will change your life, but you're basically not gonna have any time to spend that money. I hope that makes sense, okay? So it's a great skill to have. Gentry will teach you how to do it. The potential to earn money is really, really high, but it's like having a full-time job, because when you join a company that's going to hire you as a remote high-ticket closer, you're going to have to deliver. That means that you're going to have to be at home. You're going to be tied to your phone or Zoom, closing people, trying to close people every single day, and that could be a problem. All right, so even if you start making decent money, you just have to understand that the nature of the job requires you to speak to people either on the phone or through Zoom. And so if that's not the kind of life that you want, then maybe high ticket closing might not necessarily be for you. Again, only you can decide that, because again, it just depends on what kind of lifestyle you're trying to build, right? The money is good, but you're gonna have to be working full-time on the phone all the time, right? So again, just depends on what kind of lifestyle that you actually want. But as a program, it's a great program. So if you want to check out Elite Closers, you can come to their website, eliteclosers.com, book a discovery call with Gentry here, and then decide whether this is something that you might want to do. Okay, but I think it's overall as a remote high-ticket sales mentorship program, it's a good program. All right, so that's kind of my review of Elite Closers. If you're here watching this video right now, perhaps you're not necessarily someone who wants to become a closer. Maybe you were just online and you saw an ad for Elite Closers, and now you're doing a bit of research on it. And look, there are lots of different ways to make money online. Elite closing or high ticket closing is one of those ways. There are lots of other different ways to do it. But for me, honestly, I prefer having a type of income where your income is big every single month, but you don't necessarily have to be there all the time, right? And the only way that you can do that is by creating something called leverage, okay? Now, I've tried all sorts of different ways to make money on the internet, and I've got a favorite way of getting to $5,000 to $10,000, and there's a lot of automation involved. So you don't necessarily have to be there all the time if you don't necessarily want to do that. If you prefer doing something like that, then I've got a free training that you can check out if you want. It's going to show you how to get to $5,000 to $10,000 a month, and I'll send you that training for free if you would like. Just click the link directly below, enter your email address, and I'll send you that training directly to your email address. I hope you enjoyed this review today of Elite Closes. All the best to you, and I hope to see you on the training very soon. Take care.